So welcome on this somewhat dark and quite windy day today. Don't know how much there is to see at the minute. There won't be anything to see for about a couple of hours yet, as the mornings are beginning to get quite dark now. But today is going to be quite a long day, I suspect, because I have to do one of our longest runs today all the way down to Exeter in Devon, which is a good 145 miles there and back, plus I have to do all my drops as well, so I'm going to be pushed for time quite a lot, I think, today. So the run down there is going to be quite simple for Exeter. It's basically pull onto the M4, which I'm doing now, travel on that for about an hour, pick up the M5, travel on that for about an hour, and then finally we get there. In terms of distance, I'd say Devon is pretty much one of the longest. It's certainly the longest one we do in a day cab anyway, so it's about as far as you can go and reasonably do a trip in one day. There is one run that goes slightly further than that, and that's into Cornwall, but the guy who does that run has a sleeper cab, so he goes out there, does some drops, sleeps there the night, does the rest of them, comes back. That's the only run that has a sleeper cab. All the others, including this one, despite being its huge length, are all done on day cabs. The only other one that I've done which would come close to this would be Kent, where you have to go round the coast of Kent, because that takes a fair while. It's very windy today. I'm going to be involuntarily going into the next lane quite a lot today, I think. I'm not going to be driving in a straight line for very long, like so. So yeah, not much to do now, just sit on here for an hour. If you can hear me over the wind. One thing about my first drop that I find particularly annoying is it looks like it's a house with a name, and I'm not fond with streets where all the houses have names instead of numbers, because it does make them particularly difficult to find, because you don't know whether you're anywhere near it or not. So there's this one with this name, this one with that name. They don't seem to be in any pattern of any sort, or at least with house numbers. So it's like number 40, you're at the beginning of the road, there's number 10, there's number 12, there's 11, there's 13. We know number 40, but it's going to be on the left because all the even ones are there, and it's further on up the road. You don't get that luxury with house names. And if the house name is put in a stupid place, then you haven't really got much chance of seeing it. Almost here now. Just got to look for our road on the right here. Then look for our house with the name. hillside. Primrose Cottage. Brent Rose. Glenditch. Something, I don't know. Dorwin, Dovedale, Hillside, Marigold. Well, it's somewhere around there. I'll have to get out and have a look. For now, I'll just park up here. Not much else I can do. Right, as you can see, just so you're not left wondering, I'm about 50 yards down from where I started. I eventually found it 20 minutes later. The name plaque was a tiny little thing hidden in a load of ivy. Like I said, I'm not particularly fond of houses with names, and now you know why. This next place is a lot easier though. It's a big company on a trading estate, so look for the big name on front of the building. So there's the trading estate. Hussey's Action Centre. Interesting name. Green buildings, number 3. Carpets, lovely. There, much easier. Why can't they all be like that? Right, you join me now a bit later on. I've got just under an hour left of driving and my working time, so I'm gonna see if I can fit one more drop in before I make my way to the services for a break. And I'll be over halfway through my drops then. Yeah, I'm not going to film every drop using this because it takes me a few minutes to get the camera set up. So I've just done a few quick drops to catch back up with myself. And now we're off to a little tiny place. I don't know if you could even call it a village really. But it's right next to Exeter Airport. So we may see some planes taking off or landing if the weather's alright. I've heard a few planes going over already. This place is at the end of the runway, so Should get a good view of something, surely. So that there should be the end of the runway. Yeah, there's the lights, look. They go through the village. And here we are, with the lights just there. The landing lights for the runways. If they're taking off this way, they should come over. Here I am, I've managed to make it to Exeter services. 4 hours 10 minutes in. And I've done 6 out of 10 deliveries, although 2 of them's at the same address, so it's technically 9. So I've done 6 out of 9 drops. And it's only 5 to 12. I'm just about to finish my taco break now. And I've got 1 more to do in Exeter, 2 up in Tiverton, back down the M5 a bit to Colompton, then home. Next one. Right, there's been a slight change of plan from what I said earlier. I've done Colompton first instead of Tiverton because one, I know where it is, second I've got to go past it to get to the other place, so it only seems sensible to go past Dropless first and then go on to Tiverton rather than do that and then backtrack. So now we're on our way to the difficult one. Looks like they're putting expansion joints in the bridge. Must be cracking up the tarmac or something. So the road gets a little bit narrower. And worse is to come, I think. There's a one-way system, very useful. £7.5 tons except for access, so that's me. Angel Terrace. Can park there. Or go around this way. No, it's all busy. Aha, he's just moved on. Take that place off of you then. Perfect timing. down, you can get through that easy. Right, now I know that van can fit through. I doubt many other lorries will be coming this way, so we'll call that parked.